Good morning, Heather. Thank you so much for inviting me down to On the Side Books. It's a pleasure to be here. I enjoy reading to children, and as you know, I'm an author. I've spent my Coast Guard career of 28 years, and I just finished 2 years ago my memoirs, which I'm happy to tell people that you carry here, and then they can purchase it right here at On the Side Books. It's called The View from the Rigging, and I am Captain Richard J. Marcott. I got a wonderful book today for the kids. It's called The Book Tree. And see that, boys and girls? That's a funny place to read a book, isn't it? Sometimes we go to libraries, sometimes we read it in bed. This fella reads it in a tree. Can you believe that? Okay. This is a story of a young man who loves books. And he reads them in a tree. I'll show you a picture here. You can see him, he's sitting up here. See him sitting up there in the limb of that tree? And he's reading his books right there. I'm going to start it. Nestled in the branches of a tree, Arlo opened his book and he breathed in. Beginnings are always the best part. They smelled as if anything were possible. There's people all doing all kinds of things on the street. Bonk! Look at this. Something happened here. Oh, this man's walking underneath, and he dropped a book right on his head. It went bonk. And Arlo says, "Oh, I'm sorry, Mayor. I got lost in my book and it slipped." "Preposterous! Books are dangerous. I don't trust them. They act like seeds, which grow into ideas, and then ideas turn into questions. I will tell you what you need to know." Wow. Mayor's kind of mad, you think? First, the mayor gathered every book in the library, then every book in the whole town, and he tore them up until all that was left was a single page that floated away in a passing breeze. Look at. He's tearing the pages up, and he's throwing them up, and they get caught in the breeze. What's going to happen if he throws all the books away? Oh, I'm sure Arlo didn't like that. Arlo chased the page as it blew across the town. It reminded him of the dandelions that were drifting on a wish. When it landed, the muddy earth just swallowed it, letter by letter, until it was gone. Here you can see him trying to chase the leaf, and it's flying away just like the dandelion. Wow. Although Arlo thought the mayor was probably right, after all, he had been elected mayor. He must know something. But without books, Arlo noticed the change wherever he looked. At school, teachers had nothing to read. So story time just became nap time. And without cookbooks, the restaurant served only dry cereal. No one went to the theater since actors had nothing to act out. And in the place that Arlo loved most, all the shelves were empty. Where do you think that was? Look at that. The library. The shelves are empty. Arlo's going to be without books at all. It made him very sad. Arlo sat where the last page was buried. He missed the crack and the creak of the book's spine the first time he opened it. He longed for the smell and the crisp texture of the book's pages. But most of all, he just missed getting lost in an epic adventure. Sadly, Arlo just scratched out the 2 words into the dirt, endings that were the worst part of any book. What do you think those 2 words were? Look what he scratched. The end. Oh my goodness. Isn't that sad? Is there no more books? But as he stared at the words, they grew into an idea. Arlo sat with a paper and a pencil, and he left his ideas flow. He's getting excited now, and he read his stories out loud to anyone who passed by, but no one stopped to listen. Then Arlo heard something, a sound he thought he was never going to hear again, that familiar crack in the creek. Oh boy, what do you think? When Arlo looked for the source of the sound, he saw a sprout that was springing right up from where the page had been buried. And it began to open the leaves, and it reached for Arlo's words, just begging for more. Look at. It's growing up, and it's reaching for his leaves, begging for more. With every story that Arlo wrote and read aloud, the sprout grew. Arlo wrote a story about a giant, and the tree grew tall, stretching for the clouds. He wrote about a fire-breathing beast, and the branches became strong as dragon's claws. He wrote about a magical swan made of paper, and blooms of tissue paper blossomed into books. Wow, isn't that nice? And then when the books were ripe, Arlo climbed up into the branches of the book tree again, and he breathed deeply, enjoying the fruits of his harvest. While Arlo read, a friend stopped by under the tree and says, "I'm bored. There's nothing to do." "You could try reading," Arlo said. "Is that a book?" "Yep, here. I love this story," Arlo said, giving her a hand up into the tree. And the two shared the shady spot. See, there's his friend down below, and he's going to give her a hand up, and she's going to go up there where he's got more books. Soon flocks of readers roosted on the limbs. Books began to spread through the town like pollen in the wind. People grew hungry for reading again. Some wrote their own stories, and some became book gardeners themselves. Fiery maples bloomed with picture books, willows wept with poetry, and fruit trees filled with cookbooks flourished. As the trees grew, the whole town blossomed. The mayor was lost in his mayoral work and was oblivious to all of the changes. That is, until a ripe book fell on his head. Bonk. The mayor got hit again. Oh my goodness. The mayor kicked and he stomped. "Who planted this tree?" "You did, sir," Arlo said. "When you tore up the books, it planted an idea." "Impossible. This is the second time my head is hurting because of a book. These trees have got to be cut down." "But we've become a town of books and stories. You can't cut them down." The mayor walked the streets of the town, and he gorged himself at one of the five-star restaurants, caught a show in the park, and he lost himself in the story of a boy who was fishing for a whale in a puddle. I think we got the mayor now. "Books did all of this?" the mayor asked, astonished. "No," Arlo said, as he handed the mayor a freshly picked story. "This book was just the seed." Thanks, boys and girls.